Hey guys, my name is Tony, and for several years now, I've offered an intensive for men called the Pathway to Purity Intensive Workshop. And in this intensive, I basically share with men the information and strategies and concepts and ideas that basically took me over 30 years to figure out about sexual purity. And there's actually two different ways that a guy can experience this intensive. The first is the live intensive, where we actually get a group of guys together, and the intensive is very interactive, and it's designed to be an immersive experience, and it's just been very powerful and life-changing for the guys that have been able to attend. But then what happened a couple years ago, because of COVID, we weren't able to offer the live intensive there for a while. So I went ahead and did a video series. I recorded the intensive and I wrote a workbook to go along with the video series. So this video series is intended for a guy to go through in the comfort of his own home, kind of at your own pace, or preferably with maybe a group of guys from your church. And the videos and the workbook are kind of designed to be kind of like railroad tracks that parallel one another. So you watch each video and then you do the corresponding chapter in the workbook to answer the questions, look up the scriptures, apply the principles to your own life and situation and story as you work through the material. So there's two different ways to experience the intensive, the live intensive or the video series. But either way that you decide to attend, I'm going to share with you guys some information and concepts that I believe are absolutely non-negotiable if you're interested in being a man of purity. And in the way of example, I'll just share a couple things with you. I'm going to share with you how and why sex became so powerful in your heart and life and soul and what to do about it. I'm going to share with you how many guys, without consciously realizing it, but what many guys do, what I myself did for many years, is we learn to use sex and our orgasm to essentially self-medicate our emotional life. And if we're going to be the men of purity that God is calling us to be, we're going to have to learn to stop using sex and our orgasm in that way. Another thing I share with you is how to literally retrain your brain, because your brain is the biggest sex organ in your body. And if we're ever going to be the man of purity that God's calling us to be, we absolutely have to retrain our brain. It's non-negotiable. I'm going to share with you how to strengthen your no muscle. You know, if a guy goes to the gym and strains under the weights that he's working out with, the muscles will get bigger and bigger. And every man has what I call a no muscle. And this is your ability to say no to temptation when it presents itself to you. And if you don't have a strong no muscle, you'll never be the man of purity that God's calling you to be. So I'm going to show you how to strengthen your no muscle and how to engage and employ your no muscle in a way that will put sexual purity within your reach. I'm going to share with you how to manage triggers effectively, because the fact of the matter is we live in a very highly sexualized culture and we are surrounded by never-ending and perpetual temptations, and we will be triggered over and over again. So we absolutely have to learn to manage triggers effectively if we're going to be the men of purity that God is calling us to be. And finally, I'm going to share with you 12 easy things that you can do every single day that will put purity within your reach. I've developed a very practical, what I call a 12-step purity training program. These are 12 simple things that a guy can do every day that will absolutely change your heart, your life, your relationship with your sexual self, and empower you to be the man of purity that God's calling you to be. So guys, check it out. Check out the live intensive. There's always one coming up. I schedule several every year. If you don't think you can make it to the live intensive, check out the video series and the workbook. And I want you to be encouraged because you can be a man of purity, and I'm going to show you the way. God bless you.